Princess Katherine could barely hold back her tears as she broke devastating news to her children. A moment that no parent should ever have to endure, and one that will forever change the royal family. What was this terrible news? How did the royal children react? And what happens next for Katherine and her family? This emotional moment revealed more about Katherine than we've ever seen before, and the consequences could reshape the future of the monarchy. For a woman who's always been poised, graceful, and composed in public, Princess Katherine's emotional moment was a rare and raw display of vulnerability. In the midst of a royal family that prides itself on keeping personal matters private, Katherine's tearful announcement to her children was a stark reminder that, behind the headlines, they are a family just like any other, facing the same heart-wrenching challenges. The news she had to deliver was a blow no parent ever expects, the end of a chapter that seemed unthinkable. For Katherine, the moment was a deeply personal one. She has always been a mother first, despite her royal duties. She's the one who tucks in her children at night, who supports their every step, and who, like any mother, wants nothing more than to protect her children from the harsh realities of life. But that day, those protections were broken, and Katherine was forced to step into a role no one could have prepared her for. So what exactly was the terrible news Katherine had to share with her children? The news came after a particularly difficult series of events that had been unfolding behind palace doors for weeks. The royal family was facing a crisis of unprecedented proportions. This wasn't a scandal or a media storm, but something far more personal and perhaps more painful. The devastating news Katherine had to share was the passing of a beloved family member, someone her children had grown up with and were incredibly close to. It wasn't just any family member. It was a figure whose presence had been a constant in their lives, someone who had supported Katherine through her own struggles and helped her navigate the complex world of royal life. The passing was sudden, and its impact was felt throughout the royal household. When Katherine had to sit her children down to deliver the news, her own emotions were barely contained. She struggled to find the right words, knowing that she had to break their hearts in a way that was both gentle and honest. Her children, though young, understood more than most people gave them credit for. They had witnessed the strength of their mother in public, seen her handle all sorts of royal responsibilities with grace. But this was different. This was something personal, something no amount of royal protocol could prepare her for. Katherine's children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, sat quietly in front of her, unaware of the full weight of the news that was coming. In that moment, Katherine's heart broke for them. They were about to face a loss that would change their lives, their understanding of the world, and their place within the royal family forever. The difficulty of the moment wasn't lost on Katherine. She wasn't just a mother telling her children that a loved one was gone. She was also a princess, a future queen, and a symbol of strength for the entire country. But in this private moment, it wasn't the monarchy that mattered. It was family. It was grief. It was love. As she told her children what had happened, there was a visible struggle within Katherine. Her eyes welled up with tears, but she kept her composure, knowing that she had to be strong for them. Prince George, being the eldest, was the first to understand the magnitude of the situation. He had always been sensitive, and the news hit him hardest. He asked questions, his small voice trembling as he tried to make sense of the emotions that were overwhelming him. Princess Charlotte, too, grasped the sadness, though in her own quiet way. She sought comfort from her mother, clinging to her as only a young child can. And then there was Prince Louis, still young and with a personality that brought light and joy to everyone around him. In his innocence, he didn't fully understand what was happening, but he could feel the heaviness in the room. His little face was filled with confusion, and Katherine's heart ached seeing him so vulnerable. In that moment, Katherine did what she does best. She comforted her children. She held them close, wiped away their tears, and reassured them that, despite the pain, they would get through it together. She spoke softly, telling them stories of the family member they had lost, reminding them of the love and memories they had shared. For Katherine, this was one of the hardest things she had ever had to do. Her role as a mother was tested in a way it had never been before. It was no longer about the public eye or the responsibilities of being part of the royal family. It was about being there for her children and ensuring they felt safe in the midst of heartbreak. But the situation was made even more complicated by the knowledge that their grief would not just be personal. It would be very public. The royal family, though often seen as an institution above personal struggles, is very much a family, and their private pain is shared by millions. The loss of a beloved family member is always difficult, but for the royal family, it is also a moment that the public watches closely, often with judgment or curiosity. Katherine, like so many royal figures before her, had to walk the fine line between showing genuine emotion and upholding the image of strength and unity that the monarchy demands. And as the days passed, the gravity of the situation became clear. This loss would have lasting implications. It would affect the royal children in ways that no one could predict. The family member they had lost had been a key figure in their upbringing, a source of comfort, guidance, and love. Their absence would leave a hole not just in the family but in the future of the monarchy itself. Katherine's role as a mother had always been pivotal in shaping the lives of her children, but now she faced the challenge of guiding them through grief while also dealing with her own overwhelming sorrow. The balance between being the future queen and a mother in mourning was difficult, and in those early days after the news broke, Katherine struggled to find peace. Yet, as time passed, Katherine showed the world the true meaning of strength. She continued to fulfill her royal duties, but now those duties felt different. She was no longer just carrying the weight of the monarchy on her shoulders. She was also carrying the weight of a family in mourning. Her children, too, began to show their own resilience. They leaned on each other, as siblings do, and together they navigated a new reality. The family's grief, while deeply personal, would eventually be shared with the world. The royal family is a symbol of unity and continuity, and how they weathered. This loss would be seen as a reflection of their strength. But for Katherine, the most important thing was ensuring that her children understood that love and memory endure even in the face of loss. She wanted them to know that though someone they loved was gone, their bond as a family would remain unshaken. As Katherine's children slowly came to terms with the news, there was a sense of peace that began to settle in. The pain would never fully go away, but the healing process had begun. Katherine's tears, though painful at the time, had served a purpose. They allowed her to connect with her children in a way that nothing else could. The royal family, for all its grandeur, is just like any other family in times of crisis. And while Katherine's moment of vulnerability might have been painful, it also reminded the world that even those at the top of the monarchy are human, with the same heartache and loss that anyone else faces. As Katherine and her children begin to heal from this loss, the royal family's future remains uncertain. What happens next? How will they move forward from such a deep personal tragedy? The world waits, watching as the family continues to navigate their grief and their place in history.